Hey, Bills Mafia. We know there's only one topic every day, all Bills all the time. And now Matt Bovee and Sal Capaccio are going really deep, talking Bills all year long, because it's always game day in Buffalo.
Hi, everyone. Sal Capaccio here with you on this particular episode, running it solo. And that's because, of course, as a lot of you already know, my co-host, Matt Bovee, unfortunately and very sadly, his dad passed away earlier this week. Our thoughts, our prayers are all with Matt and his family. When Matt is ready and able to rejoin the podcast, that will happen. I'm sure that he's going to talk a lot about his dad and what he meant to him, and going forward, how they are going to obviously honor him, and we'll make sure that we do the same thing here, and give Matt his space and his privacy as we go forward on It's Always Game Day in Buffalo. So never an easy transition, but we are thinking of Matt, we are thinking of his family, and we thank you for joining us here in this episode, a special episode here today, and that is because we have a Bills player joining us. That is Buffalo Bills wide receiver Gabe Davis, coming to us all the way from Orlando at his new gym, his new facility. First, Gabe, welcome into the show. Thanks a lot. I know Matt. I think he did a story with you down in Orlando last year, and I know you'll be thinking about his father as well. Lost him a little bit earlier this week. He'd normally be joining me with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show again. Prayers up for Matt. I know it's probably tough for him losing his dad. So hopefully he gets that time to kind of reflect and look back on all the good times and all the good memories he had with his pops, and nothing but love and respect to Matt for sure.
Yeah, thank you. And big Bills fan. I know that Matt's dad was just as much as Matt is growing up and now working in the media here in Buffalo. So, Gabe, the reason why we really brought you on here is to talk about your new endeavor. And it's really not a new one. It's kind of something you've been into for quite a while. You've opened up a gym. It's called the Draft Academy. So I'm going to kind of let you kind of tell us why you did this, what it's all about, if you can.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for the Draft Academy is obviously, we're big on recovery, rehab, PT work and everything. So that's like the main focus here. Again, is having the physical therapy, the recovery, and the rehab all together for people to get, be as healthy as they can. Also, we have some performance that comes into there a little bit, but, giving some of the kids somewhere to be around pros and see what it's like to be a pro. But, our biggest thing here is just helping people become the best version of themselves. I mean, we have Nestry, which is a mental cognitive training program that is awesome. I mean, it scans your brain, lets you know your weaknesses, let you know what's going on, and then gives you a training regimen to get, stronger in those areas. We have the cold tub, hot tub. We have the hyperbaric chamber. We have the sauna. We have our physical therapist, Alex, who's the best around, being able to work on you and help you with your body to feel better. And then we have, again, the performance side of it when it comes to training.
All right, it's called the Draft Academy. Why is that?
Because, again, like I said, when it comes to younger people, we want to be able to show them how it is to become a pro. We want to put them through, the recovery process, the performance process, and then, maybe one day, maybe the management process to help them with all around what's going on. I mean, you see what's going on now with these athletes. I mean, essentially they're a business at 18 years old. So it's, again, trying to help them figure out how to live their life, the lifestyle they need to live to become pros.
I said you're down in Orlando. Tell us where it's located in case anybody kind of drives by, wants to see it, and maybe somebody's out there who's interested in it.
Yeah, no, it's in Winter Park. It's off of University in Goldenrod, or you can come on the other side from Aloma and Goldenrod.
Why was it important for you to do it down there?
Because it was close to the UCF facility, and I feel like it was a good spot to be. It's not that far away from where I'm from. And then again, it's not that far away from where I went to school. So I feel like it was a perfect area to put, the Draft Academy.
Yeah, and I used to live down there. I coached Florida in high school down there. I know what the talent is like down in Florida. And you have quite a few, players and guys and friends, including some Buffalo Bills. Matt Milano's from that area. He went to Dr. Phillips, I believe. But how about some of the guys that, are helping you with this endeavor, maybe showed up or have been a part of it over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I've had guys, especially that have been consistently with me. We had Kenny Gainwell. We had Kenny Gainwell, Matt Milano, Latavius Murray, Cole Beasley. These guys who have been consistent working with us, or had times with us. AJ Klein was here with us this off season. So it's awesome to be able to have my teammates not only to come to Florida and train, but to be able to be in my spot, in my area, with me and what I'm doing, and them trusting me to put them in the best position to be able to feel good for this season.
You are a workout warrior. I mean, this is what you do. You've won the this is the Iron Bill. What do you call the award that the Bills give out? The team gives out.
So the Iron Bill is something different.
Okay.
It's literally just the lifter of the year.
Lifter of the year. Okay, well, you've won Lifter of the Year 2 years in a row. I saw the great post by your mom. She's so proud of you when you do something like that. And why not? I mean, I have a 9-year-old. When he wins a trophy, I'm proud of him. So I can understand why that happens. But what is it about working out, about staying in shape? Like, do you love it or do you do it because it's your job?
Both, I love it. I do it obviously because it's my job, but I feel like it's, to be able to be consistent in the weight room is tough. So I take pride in being able to do that each and every day. I know it's something hard, and it challenges myself every single day to wake up and do it. But I would just want guys to be able to know that they can depend on me. Marlon, oh geez, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Go ahead.
But I want guys to be able to depend on me and to know that they can. That they can trust me when it comes to working hard and sacrificing, because again, Sundays are the best days.
Yeah.
That's easy to go out there and perform and work hard during those days. But I want to show them that Monday through Saturday that I can get it done.
And then I know you're walking over there, right? You got some people coming in. I know you got a lot of people who've helped you with this. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the people that helped, make this whole thing happen with you?
Yeah. So Bert Whigham's been training me for years. He was definitely a component of this, and having the trainer that helped me do what I do. To get into this and have the guy that can kind of run the system. Alex, our PT guy, who's also been my PT for years, being able to take care of people the way he took care of me and help me stay healthy. We have guys like like Mario, who has been my massage therapist since I was coming out of high school, going into college, that I trust to this day with my body. And then we had little components here and there when it comes to some of our friends and some of our buddies who trusted in us and believed in us to be able to build this program up.
How cool is it to have Latavius on the Bills now, 2 UCF guys? I think he's now the oldest running back in the league, but he still had a good year last year, right? But this guy that's still churning it out.
Yeah, I mean, Latavius is a horse. Latavius is a guy you need on the team, not only on the field, but in the locker room. He's a positive influence. He brings the energy, brings the juice, and just a good vet guy to have that understands how to win.
Bills wide receiver Gabe Davis. It's the Draft Academy. It's down in Winter Park, Florida. New endeavor that it's been opened up with him and several other people. How often do you where do you train? Do you stay in Orlando pretty much or that area the whole summer, then come back to Buffalo for training camp? Like, how does your living situation and workout situation work in the off season and the season?
Oh yeah, so I'm here in Orlando. I train at UCF at the facilities there. They let me use the upstairs weight room, and then we get to use the grass fields, which is a big plus. And then now I come over here after whenever it comes to recovery, PT work, and et cetera, whenever I want to do those things.
Now, you've also been traveling. I read you went to Germany and maybe France. Where'd you go recently for the NFL?
Yeah, I went to Germany and London to kind of promote the game with the PA to, I know Frankfurt, Germany's getting big into football, and they have a big following. So we went over there, showed some love over there, did some camps, did some media to kind of, again, promote the NFL and American football over those in Europe.
Did you were you selected to do that? Did you volunteer? How did that happen for you?
Yes, I got asked to do it by one of the PA guys, Don, and I said, sign me up, I'll go for sure. Never been. So definitely was a great experience.
I love it. My wife's actually from Frankfurt. Do you know any German?
No.
I know, right?
German's tough. German's tough.
All right, everybody. Unfortunately, the technology situation failed on us for a moment, and we lost Gabe, but that's okay. He had to run to a meeting, but we have one of the owners of the Draft Academy, Bert Whigham, who is also one of Gabe's trainers. So, Bert, thanks for joining us. Why don't you take us a little bit around the Draft Academy, buddy, and tell us about it?
Yeah, so this is this is the office. We put turf in to make it fitting, and we got basically freshmen, sophomore, and junior year of Gabe's career from where he broke his junior year 1,241 yards and 12 TDs, and then put Hodgins in here because last year he came down and lived with us and for the whole summer basically, and then we got Gabe. That was the first game where his whole family was at, and then Cole's first playoff touchdown. So we added things to this room that we felt were special. We got Gabe's first 2 TD game versus the Panthers 2 years ago, and AJ. And then as we come through, we've got some of our partners and just jerseys of guys I've worked with, and I'll come back to that. Some of Gabe's big moments. Latavius right there. Dak from when he was Rookie of the Year. I worked with him during that time. Hodgins, that was the first real touchdown he had versus the Cowboys with the Giants. They got called back, but I still count it. In here, this is the medical office. There's everyone's favorite right there. And that was actually the touchdown, the 26th touchdown that Gabe set the record for most TDs through the first 3 seasons for a guy drafted past the 3rd round. Beat Tyreek Hill, so I know that'll make some Bills fans happy. And then just guys I've worked with, Derek, Saquon, Dak. And then in here we have hot and cold tub for contrasting. And y'all will recognize that one, the 75-yarder. Baseball player I worked with, Kenny's first playoff touchdown. And then that's the hot side. And on the cold side, got some of the Bills people will recognize from some snow games. And we built this, basically we wanted to have whatever in this facility. Our thought was have whatever they would have at their pro facility. So they have contrasting at the Bills facility, let's have it here. If they have in here hyperbaric chamber, let's have the hyperbaric chamber. And some recognizable plays. Smokes touchdown when he came back this year after the Steelers game. B's throwing the TD, and then Gabe's rookie year. I think it was a 60-yarder between Matt and Gabe, and knocked the Dolphins out of the playoffs. And then infrared sauna in here. Got one big enough for a few guys to get in. The legendary Josh Allen. Gabe doing what he does, blocking. And then Kenny and Miles, I worked with both of those guys. And 2 of my baseball players, Martin Prado and Carlos Gonzalez. We put in some lockers. 2022 champs. And then in here, this is really because we train at UCF for all the field work. So we really did this for recovery. So the jugs machine is behind there. We have boxing gloves, heavy bags, stuff like that, all the cardio equipment. And then just like Normatec, game ready machines, PEMF machines, pulse electromagnetic frequency, whatever you need for the recovery. The physical therapist works out of here too. So some more of our guys' jerseys, and then small weight room, just 2 racks. But this is for PT, it's for therapy. And then in here, we just got a bunch of our guys that we've been working with over the years. And I don't think I'd ever wear a shirt if I looked like Matt. But that was his first, the pick 6 Monday Night Football. So that was a big play. And then Lamar was a guy Gabe and I worked with. He, sad story, he passed away. He was at St. Francis Academy and got hit by a train. And it wasn't his fault, but he was a pro, so he's up there with all those guys too. Surprised his mom with that when we opened 2 days ago, and it was a good tribute. And then in here, just the supplements, and we'll put the blenders and the ice maker and all that. And pretty much the last thing, first touchdown of the year, that was the 26 to set the record, the 98-yarder. Longest TD tied with TO, and then that made the most efficient half by a receiver, 160 and 2 on 2 receptions and 2 TDs, and then the first touchdown, first to Chiefs, and just after he set the record. So yeah, I mean the big thing is, 1 second. Lastly, this is a for real game changer for us. Nestry Neurostrength Training Company. This is Gabe's brother Jordan. They can map what's going on and what's processing correctly in your head, and then you can train it to help fix it. So if you're under a lot of stress, they can predict that. And it really is. We're the first satellite office to have one, and they're out of Lake Nona. So that we really think that's a game changer for us. But people say, they question, Gabe's basement is built like this too. All the jerseys, all the pictures, and people question why. And it's just because you need to be reminded of your accomplishments and the things you do. And the more you honor the game, the better you'll play, the more moments you'll have like that. So, it was I didn't do all the plants that are everywhere, right? But there were certain things that were non-negotiable in this gym with me. And that's like, I want these pictures in there. I want to be reminded of everything that they've done and the people that are in here. And so that was my approach. And we'll see how it goes.
If you can hear me okay, who's the dog? Who's the dog?
I can hear you.
Who's the dog?
Oh, those are my dogs. Marlon and Magic. Ghost isn't here right now. Everyone loves Ghost.
I love it. I need to ask you about the Bills facility. It gets a lot of recognition around the league. You're a guy that does this for a living. Can you speak to how well the Bills facility is as well for helping players recover and train?
It's top notch. It's one of the best, if not the best, one of the best. I mean, that's what we mimicked. We just said, what do they have? And obviously, we didn't have the space to put everything in there that's in the Bills facility, but we we tried to mimic it in a lot of ways and then get those players down here. I'm pretty sure if you talk to Gabe, Dawson Knox has been here, AJ Klein, Smoke, Matt. I mean, I've worked with Matt for years now, but it's just Latavius, Cole, Hodgins, like guys that we want them to have another place, a second home. I mean, how many 4th round picks go to these lengths, right? Because we are in his hometown. So we have UCF, which is amazing to do our field work and train on grass. But, when guys are back home, they get pulled in a lot of directions. So we didn't want just, hey, you have to be here from 1 to 3 to get treatment. It's like, no, Gabe, you can go live your life and come back at 8 at night and we can do the same thing because you built this place, right? And that's to me, you've got to balance the social life, the family life, and football. And this was one way to really do that because now he has his own facility where he can come in at any time he needs to. I mean, he flew in the other night when we got back from Europe. I think we landed at 11. He's in here at 12, getting in the sauna and sweating everything out and then doing the hot and cold tub and then going home. So it just gives, we built it for pros. We're backdooring into a business. It was built for pros though, and that was it's a ministry for guys, and then on the back end, we have to run it like a business to make money, but we're not going to sacrifice their treatment, the people that show up and want to actually work, to the way we do, the way he does, and he sets the standard, then they have a home here. We can make it work.
Tell me more about Nest Tree. I'm really interested in what I saw right there.
It honestly, we did not see the technology for the first time until this week, but it was spot on. I mean, it maps your highs and lows and it literally shows all the connections of, for me, I've been opening this gym for the last 2 months. He was saying, you're under a lot of stress, I can tell. And I said, why do you say that? He said, because you have no short-term recall. He was like, for you to be able to do this, you must be making a lot of lists. And I was like, dude, I have lists all over this place of things I have to do. And it literally showed that. It showed that, the pleasure sensation wasn't that high with me right now because there's so much stress. And then they have ways to map that and train it back in and then dial it into sports and predict. I mean, he told Gabe he wasn't sleeping enough. And we were like, how do you know that? And he was like, because you can look at this connecting point right here. And it's like, now we know we have to focus on it. But the amazing thing is you can actually, it only took 3 minutes of staring with the cap on your head. And it's not inputting, it's just reading what's there. And 3 minutes of staring and it'll tell you what's going on and then they can train it. And it blew Gabe away. I mean, he's about to do it again here in a second and start focus on some of the stuff that it showed him.
And then obviously training camp is coming up at St. John Fisher in Rochester. He'll be back up here. You're going to still have that down there. How do you get clients? Is it you recruiting people? Do they come to you? How does all that work?
For everyday people, it was kind of the media coming out, stuff like this, just getting the word out. No one knows you can in this area that there's a facility built like this. It's built for athletes, but if we can treat an athlete, we can treat anyone. I didn't bring in the nutritionist we have on staff who can do, food sensitivity tests, blood analysis. I mean, she's the highest of the high in terms of nutrition. The physical therapist is the same way. I brought people in not because they're local, but because they're the best. I truly do believe there's so much at stake for pro athletes that you find who's best, not just who's your friend. I don't think that that's doing anyone justice for what's at stake. And so with the pros, it's kind of word of mouth will get around, and now we'll start doing some marketing. And I feel like guys know if they really want to train and they want to train in the heat and they want to work hard, they can come train with Gabe. I mean, it's back-to-back hardest workers set the tempo of the Bills offense, or of the Bills off season up there. I mean, he really does live it. And, Matt would be here full time. He doesn't live here anymore. So when he's back home, he trains. And a lot of guys, they know if they have a big event or they have a workout, they'll come into town. And then everyone else, it's just everyday people. It's just getting the word out through social media. I mean, that's how we see it.
And then finally, just a word on Gabe himself and going into a big year. Obviously, he's been in the league 3 years. This is a contract year for him, but I get the sense that he's just going to go out and do his business and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I mean, when you do the right thing, the money will come. That's what the best coach I've ever met, Coach Pete Jenkins, told me. He's a legend with defensive line. And the goal isn't to get a contract. The goal is to win the Super Bowl. If you win the Super Bowl, the money's going to come for everyone on that team. The farther you go, the higher stakes you get into. When you perform in those moments, that's how you really show your worth. And you can't fake his work ethic. So it's just go out there, try your best to win the Super Bowl and do his part in that, and then it'll all work itself out. I mean, we love Buffalo. It's become a second home, and he doesn't even have a house here. He has a gym here, and he has a house in Orchard Park, right? I mean, he loves it up there. It's an amazing town, and I just think that's the approach. Go win the Super Bowl. That you'll be there are a lot of rich people. There aren't a lot of Super Bowls champions there's none from Buffalo, right? There's none from a lot of cities around the NFL league. And so it's just go do that and it'll all work itself out.
And then the last thing I wanted to ask you about Latavius Murray. You also know Latavius really well. I asked, Gabe about him. He spoke about having him on the team, but give us some insight, Bills fans, into Latavius.
I've tried to get him up there for 2 years now. We were working with him 2 years ago, and I was telling Brandon, like, come on, let's get him up here because he's big. I mean, he and Derrick Henry are the only two backs I've ever seen like that. 6'3", 230, 240, big, long guys. And there were two things with Tay. Anytime we train with a group of guys, he just brings good energy. And I know that over the course of a long season, I think there was a stretch of games last year where the sun didn't come out for 4 weeks or something, or 3 weeks. So you just need guys that are happy and bring good energy first off. And he is a veteran on that offensive side of the ball. He's going on year 11, and that'll make him the oldest player on the offense. It might be the oldest on the team, I don't know, but for sure on the offense. So I knew I wanted some veteran leadership. He's got the big brother, little brother relationship with Gabe. I know he knew Steph from when Steph was a rookie in Minnesota. I just felt like that was a great fit just for his personality, and then he's big. And when I was watching the playoffs and it gets cold and rainy and then we're in a snow game with 5 inches, I'm thinking 6'3", 230, 235 would have been good. And I saw a statistic that talked about the red zone offense with the Bills and rushing touchdowns, and over the last 2 years, I think it was 11 or 12 and 6 or 7 were Josh Allen. And it's like Latavius has 10 or 11 over the last 2 years by himself in the red zone. And I think Damian Harris is another back that has those red zone touchdowns. So, I just felt like it was a win-win. His personality and then his size. You really, when you see him and Josh in that backfield, they're going to be two imposing guys. And not to discredit Singletary or any of those guys too. It's just the skill set's different, right? I mean, I've never seen running back like him except Derrick. They're the only two. So I think it'll be a great fit up there. And he's from there.
Yep. All right, man. Hey, listen, good luck. All right, congratulations. This has been awesome. Good luck to you guys going forward. Safe travels back to Buffalo in a couple of weeks when you guys come back. And also thank Gabe for us. I know that we got to cut it short a little bit, but he was really great, and his time, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Bert.
Thanks, Al.
Okay, you got it.
See
All
ya.
right, that is Bert Whigham. He is the co-owner of the Draft Academy. We're gonna basically step aside here, but I was thinking back a little bit upon the week, and what can I talk about that's been going on? And my mind actually went away from football to baseball. Lucas, did you watch the baseball All-Star game? I have to ask my producer here, Lucas. Bring you in.
I did not. I watched a little bit of the home run derby, actually.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Two things that really kind of has stood out to me about baseball. Number one, the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to wearing regular, like your team jerseys? That was the best when they wore that.
Yeah.
I don't like the everybody wears the same jersey thing.
No, and that's one of like the charming things about the Pro Bowl. I mean, I haven't watched the Pro Bowl either in a while.
Different
but how
helmets.
they wear the helmets. Yes, so that's one of the coolest things about All-Star games. And like the NHL used to do it, where teams would have players would have their team's logo on their shoulder. So like each league has kind of done it, but I think was last year the first year the MLB did that, or was it?
No, they've been doing it for a while, but man,
Okay.
What happened was my son, actually a little braggy here. My son was in his own 9-year-old All-Star game in Little League Baseball recently, and they all wore their regular team uniforms, and it was so sweet. It was awesome. I loved it.
I know it's
that's the way an All-Star game should be.
Exactly. I'm all for tradition too. So that's the thing. Plus, they're there representing their team, right? They're the all-star for their team, and I'm pretty sure every team sends one. So
the other thing is with baseball. Sorry, I mean to cut you off there. The other thing of baseball is I'm watching a lot of baseball. I watch the Yankees a lot, and I know Aaron Judge is out, so it matters for them. But like, whatever happened to the old regular, like traditional baseball batting order? Like, I mean, Rizzo's leading off for the Yankees, right? Who leadoff hitter is supposed to be like the fastest guy in the team who could steal. You don't have that anymore. It's just basically Judge hits number 2, basically. And I'm like, what is going on here? He should be the 3 hitter. So listen, anyway, just a rant for another time. Just some things I thought about. I do want to tell everybody though, first of all, again, circling back, when Matt's ready to come back on the pod, we'll have Matt back on the pod. And obviously he'll let us know when he's ready for that. And our condolences and our thoughts go out to his family during this time after losing his dad. So we'll keep you updated on that. You can follow Matt. You can tweet him if you want at Matt_Bove on Twitter. You can follow me at Sal Sports on Twitter as well. And the other thing is about social media. I've been trying to kind of get into a few more of the social media platforms because we don't know what's going on with Twitter, and I don't want to get into all that. I just need to know that there's some place where you can find me and I can find you and we can interact. So I have an Instagram account. It's at Sal Sports. I've had it for a long time. I've only posted pictures there. I really just started getting into it and following people. So trying to build that up a little bit to have some interaction on Instagram. Twitter's still my preferred spot. Do the Sal Sports Facebook page as well. So if you want to, you can go there as a fan page on Facebook, Sal Sports. I switched over to not switched over. I added a Threads account. That's the new thing. There's so much of this social media stuff. I hate it. I hate having to keep up with it, but I do it because it's part of the job and I need to. And I need to connect with all of you out there who are listening, and you got to connect with me. And I want you to see the stuff that we're doing. But the most important one, speaking of all that, is please go to the YouTube page. It's at Sal Sports on YouTube. Some big plans coming up. I'll let you know about those as it gets closer. But with training camp coming around the corner, the Bills season coming around the corner, you'll want to be subscribed to my personal YouTube page at Sal Sports. That's where you'll find all of these videos. If you're listening right now and you're like, man, I wish I would have seen the Draft Academy, what Bert was showing. Well, you got to watch the video. It's always game day in Buffalo, and that is on the Sal Sports YouTube page. So go there, subscribe. You'll see it all there. Thanks for dealing with some of the technology issues today, especially on the video side of things. Lucas, you're a rock star. Thank you for editing it to make it sound even better than it really was. So I appreciate you, man. We'll talk to everybody next time on It's Always Game Day in Buffalo.